Angela Davis, if you're not familiar with this name, that's okay. I'm going to give you a background on her, and I think you will fully appreciate this video. Angela Davis is one of the most prominent communists in the United States. And I don't say this meaning, oh, well, our culture is being overtaken by cultural Marxism, this ideology that at its core is Marxist, even if those propagating it aren't aware that what they're propagating is Marxism. No. Angela Davis is a self-avowed communist. She was an officer. She was in the upper echelons of the Communist Party of the United States of America. She is an open Marxist. She was a disciple of Herbert Marcuse in Germany and then followed him to the California university system here in the United States. So she's like a communist's communist. And there's a show on PBS that airs that takes relatively prominent people or even famous people, celebrities, and tracks their ancestry, because who doesn't love to do that? It's become a trend the last few years with Ancestry.com and all those different sites to find out, well, what is your family history? We've kind of lost the art of keeping track of that ourselves. There's so many generations now in the United States. It's interesting to see what our relatives, our distant relatives, our great-grandparents, great-great-great-great-grandparents did, who they were, where they came from, what they did. So this show takes famous people, does that tracking, that heritage study for them, and then presents the family tree to the famous individual. Of course, they capture this on film. Angela Davis sat down, did this show, and finds out that her ancestors are not exactly who she not only thought them to be, but who she based her entire political ideology around. Take a look at this.
Any idea what you're looking at? That is a list of the passengers on the Mayflower.
No, I can't believe this. No, my ancestors did not come here on the Mayflower.
Your ancestors came on the Mayflower.
No.
You are descended
No.
from one of the 101 people who sailed on the Mayflower.
Oof. That's a little bit too much to deal with right now.
Did you ever, in your wildest dreams, think that you may have descended from people who laid
Never.
the foundation
Never.
for this country?
Never.
There's no other word to describe this video except hilarious, because Angela Davis is a communist, which is bad enough. She's a Marxist, which is a particular brand of communism. But more than that, when I said before that she was a disciple of Herbert Marcuse is the godfather of critical race theory. Angela Davis is a proponent of critical race theory, but remember when we were talking to Dr. James Lindsay a couple of weeks ago and he was talking about how wokeism is an actual cult where there's 3 or 4 different layers of people in this cult. The people at the bottom who just carry the water, they parrot the ideology, but they don't know. They parrot the talking points, but they don't know what they're saying. They don't know the basis. They don't know they're Marxists. Then he said, then there's the people who are one step higher. They know, they've studied a little bit of the ideology, so they know maybe that it's a little bit Marxist, a little bit communist, but they don't really know why, they don't know who, they just are they're pseudo-intellectuals. And then you have the people who are at the very top. These would be the upper echelons of a cult, and they're the ones who know the truth. They know that critical race theory isn't just history. They know that critical race theory in schools is not a discussion of our nation's history as it pertains to slavery. They know that they're saying those things as lies to trick people into accepting critical race theory in our lives, because they know that critical race theory is Marxism and their ultimate goal for our country is to turn the United States into a Marxist country. Those people at the highest levels of the woke cult, Angela Davis is one of them. She's one of the people who knows that critical race theory is not what Nicole Hannah-Jones is telling us it is. It's not just an accurate depiction of the evils of slavery in our country. It's not that at all. It is a Marxist theory intended to indoctrinate a population in racialized Marxism, in the cultural Marxism that takes Karl Marx's idea of pitting the working class against the ruling class and instead pits black people against white people, with the goal being a revolution to impose Marxism on our country.